News View, here for you. Hello and welcome to News View on a Friday night in Champaign-Urbana. I'm Michael Badger, your anchor, and let's get to the top story, which is an airplane had part of engine number 2 off of it fall off. This was a Qantas plane, and this happened Thursday in mid-flight. And the pilot announced calmly that the flight was experiencing a technical issue. This comes from CNN World News, and in the plane, the pilot was able to land safely, and local television stations in Indonesia showed debris with red-white markings on the plane, and the plane had to let go of some fuel in mid-flight as well. And we're glad that turned out okay. And in the next story, Sparky Anderson, the Hall of Fame manager, has died at age 76. He was the first manager to win the World Series championships with teams from both the National and American leagues. He died Thursday in Thousand Oaks, California. He was 76 years old. Dan Ewald, a family spokesman, announced the death, says the Associated Press. And this is from the New York Times. And Anderson managed the Cincinnati Red Sox to 4 pennants and 2 World Series titles in the 1970s. And the Cincinnati Reds, and then they beat the Boston Red Sox in 1975 and swept the Yankees in 1976. He was called, or they were called, the Big Red Machine. After 9 years in Cincinnati, he managed Detroit for 16 and a half seasons, capturing his 3rd World Series championship in 1984 when the Tigers defeated the San Diego Padres in 5 games. Wow. Sparky Anderson has passed on. And on to the next story. Here at News View, Microsoft is promising to make technology that learns about you. Microsoft's Alex Kipman says technology is making us less human. So Microsoft's response to this is to make the software and technology learn more about humans. Kipman points to some video game titles that have been announced for 2011. Steel Battalion Heavy Armor, Project Draco, which is a dragon flight simulator, and Haunt, a haunted house mystery. These are all games which are going to learn more about you and how you play, I guess. Well, how am I playing with this show on NewsView? If you have any comments on that, you can email me or you can call the station. 217-384-2452 is the UPTP number. And newsview@email.com is my working email address for now. You can send any comments, questions, complaints, anything you want really to me at that address, newsview@email.com. And don't forget that this weekend, this Saturday, is the Champaign County. If you're a resident of Champaign County, you can take your electronics to the News Gazette building on Olympian Drive, and they will take your electronics to be recycled. TV sets, laptops, computers. If it's electronic, it can probably be recycled. You can ask them. So that's Saturday morning. This Saturday morning, November the 8th, I believe. No, 6th. November 6th, Saturday morning, is the Champaign County area-wide recycling day at the News Gazette building on Olympian Drive. And I'm Michael Badger, and Newsview will continue with more news after this, the first break. Okay, we're back here at NewsView, and the next story is San Francisco, California. The city of San Francisco has banned the McDonald's Happy Meal. The food that comes in a box with a toy prize has been banned. And actually, any restaurant cannot hand out toys with the meals that do not meet nutritional standards of fat, calories, and sodium in San Francisco, which includes Happy Meals that have been fat-packed favorites of hungry children for decades. And I might also note, it's not in this story by David W. Freeman, but Burger Chef actually started this with the Fun Meal back in the 60s or 70s. So the idea, at least they nationalized it anyway. I don't know what restaurant might have started it at first. Could have been Burger Chef. McDonald's is best known for their Happy Meal, and Supervisor Eric Marr, who sponsored the ban in San Francisco, says our children are sick. Rates of obesity in San Francisco are disturbingly high, especially among children of color. This is a challenge to the restaurant industry to think about children's health first and join the wide range of local restaurants that have already made this commitment, quote unquote. And they say up to 30% of San Francisco's fifth graders are overweight. But the ban takes effect in December 2011. So I guess in San Francisco right now, you can still get a Happy Meal until December 11th, 2011. December 2011. And we'll see what happens there. McDonald's is not happy about the ban and says that they are extremely disappointed with the decision. Says McDonald's company spokesman Danya Proud, and according to Reuters, that is, and it's not what our customers want, nor is it something they asked for, meaning the ban on Happy Meals. And if you go to CBS News Health Watch, you can read more about this story. Our next story, a little closer to home if you live in Champaign-Urbana, the U of I leads in faculty Fulbright scholarships. They have awarded more of them to students than any other school in the country, I guess. So the U of I, and this is from the Chicago Tribune, we see that 8 members of the University of Illinois faculty have received Fulbright Scholar Awards this year. That's more than any other U.S. university, says the Chicago Tribune and the News Gazette. The Fulbright Scholarship Program is 63 years old and sends 800 U.S. university faculty and others overseas every year to study, teach, and conduct research. And moving right along, next story. Well, before we get to the next story, I would just tell you the weather is coming up after the news. So if you want to find out what the weather will be like this weekend, stay right here tuned to NewsView on UPTV Channel 699 on AT&T and 6 on Comcast. Now, the Illinois Army National Guard General is to retire after 33 years. This story is by Staff Sergeant Cassidy L. Snyder of the Illinois National Guard Public Affairs Office out of Springfield. After 33 years of military service, Brigadier General Ronald R. Morrow of the Joint Force Headquarters in the Illinois Assistant Adjutant General Army is scheduled to retire on December 31st from the Illinois National Guard. He was assistant to the Adjutant General in all matters pertaining to the management of the Illinois Army National Guard and its 10,000 soldiers. And he said his whole family was military, and he felt like he needed to do his part and join. He enlisted in 1977 as a mechanic in Company B of the 747th Maintenance Battalion in Champaign. He then commissioned in 1980 as an infantry officer through Officer Candidate School, where he earned the Illinois Army National Guard Officer Candidate Outstanding Academic Award. Morrow went on to become the commander of Company B, along with several other positions throughout his career. He used to be assistant to the Illinois Army National Guard Chief of Staff before he was maintenance officer for the State Area Command of the 232nd Corps Support Battalion. He also served as the 3637th Maintenance Company and commander of the 65th Troop Command Brigade Commander. He was a great ambassador for the Illinois Army National Guard for more than 3 decades, said Major General William Enyart, the Adjutant General of the Illinois National Guard. And you can read more about that at the readmedia.com website, or you can even become an Illinois National Guard Facebook fan at www.facebook.com/Illinois National Guard, Illinois National Guard being all one word. And the next story is that the next story is here. Another passing has happened. Robert C. Schultz III, the umpire and retired security supervisor, has died, according to the Chicago Tribune. He was an umpire way back in the for the for more than 40 years he was an umpire, and at college and high school games throughout the state he did this, and he was a Randallstown resident. He was the son of German immigrant parents and born in Baltimore and raised in Frankfurt Avenue in Hamilton. He was also a 1940 graduate of Polytechnic Institute and enlisted the next year in the Marine Corps. So if you want to see more about that, go to Chicago Tribune and look at the obituaries. And one more. We've got time for one more, I think. Or there's one more story here that I'd like to get to, if the computer will cooperate. There is in Urbana, right going on right now is the Visualizing Tibet Film Festival at the Spurlock Museum in Urbana. They have free parking in lot D21 and D22 on Oregon Street. Tonight, or not, or, Saturday, they're having four different shows at 1 p.m., 3:15 p.m., 7 p.m., and 9:20 p.m. And on Sunday, two shows, 1 p.m. and 3:15 p.m. So if you're interested in that, you can see the Visualizing Tibet Film Festival may be part of it this weekend at the Spurlock Museum on 600 South Gregory Street, Urbana, Illinois. And that is it for tonight's News View news, but the weather is next, and stay tuned for the weather and everything else here on News View. And don't forget to tune in next week, I believe Tuesday late night, Tuesday into Wednesday morning, we should have a show for you. And here on UPTV, and next Friday night, we're staying right here Friday nights too. So enjoy and good night. And here is your News View weather for the weekend. Your News View weather for Friday night is coming up. There it is. 26 degrees for your low, 26 degrees Fahrenheit, and mostly clear. Yeah, mostly clear. As for Saturday, 46 degrees Fahrenheit for your high, with clear skies and sunny, of course, since it's clear. And for your low, Saturday night into Sunday morning, 30 degrees Fahrenheit for the low. Sunday, 58 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature, and mostly clear skies. And Sunday night into Monday morning, 34 degrees Fahrenheit. So enjoy that weekend weather, and this has been your News View weekend weather forecast.